Halloween is a very strange holiday. Kids worshiping ghosts, pretending to be devils. Things on TV that are completely inappropriate for younger viewers.
Welcome to the Screen Crowd, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Halloween episodes. We'll be looking at the funniest, scariest, and best spoof episodes that the legendary Simpsons have to offer.
Cool.
Which Treehouse of Horror episode do you think is the best? Comment below and let us know. Number 10. Treehouse of Horror 7, 1996. It's challenging to top the To Serve Man spoof Hungry Are the Damned as the aliens' Kang and Kodos defining moment, but Citizen Kang pulls it off by ruthlessly lampooning the compromises and constraints of our nation's two-party system with cosmic destroyers. In the lead-up to the 1996 presidential election, Kang and Kodos assume the bodies of Bill Clinton and Bob Dole to demonstrate to Earthlings the futility of voting for anyone other than a Republican or a Democrat, no matter how obviously evil or unqualified for the position they may be.
Twirling towards freedom.
It's viciously satirical political satire that is both incisive and humorous, even by the standards of the Golden Age. The other two standout segments, The Thing and I and The Genesis Tub, introduce us to Bart's previously undiscovered feral twin, who also has a secret.
What do you want from me? You'll see after the surgery.
And Lisa's science experiment, which unintentionally results in microscopic life forms that evolve at an astounding rate, which leads to Lisa mistakenly becoming a god of tiny things. Number 9. Treehouse of Horror 9, 1998. The Simpsons' Hell to Pay may be jailbird uber-criminal Snake's best episode.
Good lines, nice balance. Let's see how she handles.
A shoddy transplant result in Snake's nasty hair running wild and taking over Homer's brain in the story. It is followed by The Terror of Tiny Toon, a parody in which Bart and Lisa enter the realm of Itchy and Scratchy, their all-time favorite television program, which, unfortunately for them, is characterized by extreme brutality and mocking disregard for the sanctity of human life.
The cartoon X. I love it.
The episode ends with Starship Poopers, another showcase for Kang and Kodos in which Kang is revealed to be half-alien Maggie's biological father. The Simpsons and the alien attempt to settle their disputes on The Jerry Springer Show, serving as a reminder of how Treehouse of Horror depends so much on current events that it is impossible to help but feel somewhat out of date. Number 8. Treehouse of Horror 8, sensing a trend here, 1997. In the I Am Legend / Omega Man parody, Omega Man, comic book guy hilariously realizes, "Oh, I've wasted my life," just before being blown to pieces by a massive bomb. It's the kind of flawless, exquisitely observed joke that the golden era of The Simpsons pulled off repeatedly.
You call that prime rib? Ugh.
Similar moments can be found in the following segments, such as when Homer refuses to pay $2 for a matter transformer at Professor Frank's yard sale and bargains it down to 35 cents in the incredibly gross The Fly parody, Fly vs. Fly, or when an earlier version of Mayor Quimby commands 3 witches facing execution, "I sentence you hags to be burned at the stake until you are dead." These moments can still occur on the show, but they now seem to be the exception rather than the rule.
Who is it?
Witches.
What do you want?
We're here to eat your kids.
Okay, come on in.
Number 7. Treehouse of Horror 1, 1990. The one-eyed, multi-tentacled breakout stars of the first Treehouse of Horror were Kang and Kodos. This Treehouse of Horror episode, like many of the best ones, was lovingly inspired by a classic Twilight Zone episode, in this case, To Serve Man. The Simpsons and the rest of humanity are punished in Hungry Are the Damned for being too skeptical rather than too trusting, offering a beautiful spin on the infamous shock ending of the original.
We offered you paradise. You would have experienced emotions 100 times greater than what you call love, and 1,000 times greater than what you call fun. You would have been treated like gods.
The Raven serves as a vehicle for Homer and Bart's arguments. In a haunted mansion, essentially commit suicide, rather than suffer the unfortunate fate of having the Simpsons live in it. The Raven and Bad Dream House are both still funny, but Hungry Are the Damned takes the cake in this episode.
Children, bedtime. I guess I'll have no trouble getting to sleep tonight.
Number 6. Treehouse of Horror 2, 1991. With two terrifying tales taken from Rod Serling's renowned collection of science fiction and horror stories, the second Treehouse of Horror drank copiously from that rich well of inspiration. The legendary Twilight Zone episode, It's a Good Life, about a telekinetic boy with godlike abilities who makes everyone else shiver in fear of his deranged, childish whims, served as the basis for Bart's nightmare.
You get it from your side of the family, you know. No monsters on my side.
Bart fits the stereotype of a supernatural force for mischief nicely, and the animation allows for some genuinely unsettling visuals.
Well, it's still on. 346 consecutive hours.
Next, the famous terror story, The Monkey's Paw, about a haunted item that granted wishes that sarcastically and hilariously backfire.
World peace.
See, son, that was very selfish of you.
And the final piece, a satirical take on Frankenstein in which a robot is Homer's brain implanted. It may not be that original of an idea, but Mr. Burns is a hilarious highlight as the infamous Dr. Frankenstein-type character.
Smithers, hand me that ice cream scoop.
Ice cream scoop?
Damn it, Smithers. This isn't rocket science, it's brain surgery.
Number 5. Treehouse of Horror 4, 1993. In The Devil and Homer Simpson, which is arguably the most satisfying adaptation of Stephen Vincent Bennett's classic short story, as Satan unexpectedly assumes the form of the holiest man in Springfield,
I'd sell my soul for a donut.
Well, that can be arranged.
Flanders!
Ned Flanders. Here, the Simpsons family is pitted against the Devil Flanders in a legal battle for Homer's eternal soul, which all starts over a forbidden donut. Once again, the Twilight Zone is parodied with the spoof Terror at 5.5 Feet, another immediate classic. The tale of Bart confronting a gremlin that only he can see is both genuinely terrifying and hilarious. Hidely-ho, Bart. The conclusion of Bart Simpson's Dracula includes a graphically ambitious homage to Francis Ford Coppola's giddily extravagant interpretation of vampire lore.
Nicholas, wake up. Quick, look out the window.
No way, Bart. If I lean over, I leave myself open to wedgies, wet willies, or even the dreaded Rear Admiral.
Number 4. Treehouse of Horror 6, 1995. The angry leprechaun and the lard lad Donuts mascot, who run amok alongside other corporate mascot in Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores, one of the first Treehouse of Horror segments to feel less than essential. Thankfully, the remaining parts are worth watching.
Good morning, everybody. Panic is gripping Springfield as giant advertising mascots rampage through the city. Perhaps it's part of some daring new ad campaign, but what new product could justify such carnage?
While the groundbreaking and visually audacious Homer Cubed features three-dimensional animation and the show's first live-action sequence, which takes place when Homer leaves behind the 2D animated world and the 3D animated world for our crappy live-action world.
Ooh, erotic cakes.
But the highlight of this episode, and reason for its placement in the number 4 spot, is Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. In this segment, groundskeeper Willie is deftly cast as Freddy Krueger as the Simpson kids struggle to stay awake, because Willie will come after them if they go to sleep. Just ask the conjurer of conjugation himself, Martin Prince.
You'll pay for this with your children's blood!
All right, how you gonna get him? Skeleton power?
I'll strike where you cannot protect them. In their dreams.
Number 3. Treehouse of Horror 10, 1999. For better or worse, Treehouse of Horror serves as a time capsule that permanently captures the interesting times we live in. This is especially true of the 10th installment of Treehouse of Horror, which celebrated like it was 1999, while tackling a looming potential cyber catastrophe in the form of a Y2K bug that ultimately didn't exist, but is brought to hilariously malicious life in Life's a Glitch, Then You Die, which imagines a worst-case scenario where Y2K causes havoc that completely breaks down society.
Because even a single faulty unit could corrupt every other computer in the world.
That can't be true, honey. If it were, I'd be terrified.
In a part that is obviously not creepy but makes sharp satirical points about geek culture's fixation with controlling women, both fictional and real, then guest Lucy Lawless portrays a superpowered version of herself as an unwitting captive of a power-mad comic book guy. Finally, in our favorite spoof of I Know What You Did Last Summer, Ned Flanders is once more cast against type as a werewolf.
Hey, Foamy, I want the news, not the weather. Mars, did you hear me sing Werewolf Flanders?
Number 2. Treehouse of Horror 3, 1992. Homer visits a mysterious bazaar where he buys an evil, sentient Krusty doll from a mysterious vendor who also sells frozen yogurt, or Frogurt, which is good, but is cursed and made with free sprinkles that contain potassium benzoate, which is bad. This classic Treehouse of Horror segment, titled Clown Without Pity, was inspired by a classic Twilight Zone episode. Next, in the classic King Homer, the episode's interpretation of King Kong is as instantly recognizable and quotable. Who can forget Mr. Burns' feeble attempt to throw a gas bomb at Ape Homer? Lastly, Bart accidentally raises the dead to feast on the living in Dial Z for Zombies, which serves as the ideal capstone to an episode that was very close to perfect.
Dad, we did something very bad.
Did you wreck the car?
No.
Did you raise the dead?
Yes.
But the car's okay. All right, then.
Number 1. Treehouse of Horror 5, 1994. In its heyday, The Simpsons took great pleasure in terrorizing young viewers with stories of adult caregivers trying, sometimes successfully, to kill and or consume the youngsters under their care. In Nightmare Cafe, the school cafeteria boasts amazing new mystery meat made up of a bunch of student bodies, with Bart, Lisa, and Milhouse trying to avoid being slaughtered. But the two standout segments are the superb Kubrick spoof The Shinning, in which Homer attempts to murder his family with an axe after being sadistically denied beer and TV, the only things keeping him sane. In Time and Punishment, a creative retelling of the classic Ray Bradbury short story A Sound of Thunder, Homer travels back and forth in time with a toaster. Hilarious irony ensues. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the Screen Crowd. See you next time.